represent the entire delegation of Liberia,
du Liberia. Je vais bien sûr
Senator Prince Y. Johnson,
m'exprimer au
Honorable
nom
Hacha Fatah
de
Sion,
tous les membres de la délégation du Liberia, à savoir le sénateur Prince Johnny Johnson, honorable Yaya Fatah Sirion, honorable Steven Zargo et honorable Clarence Massako. Madame la Présidente, chers collègues, chaque année, les États membres de la Communauté économique des États de l'Afrique de l'Ouest sont tenus de présenter au Parlement de la CEDEAO un rapport pays portant sur les domaines clés, notamment 1. État de mise en œuvre des textes communautaires et ratification des protocoles et conventions. 2. Mise en œuvre des programmes communautaires et du prélèvement communautaire. 3. Situation politique. 4. Situation sécuritaire et situation des réfugiés dans la région. 5. État de mise en œuvre du programme macroéconomique de la CEDEAO. 6. État de mise en œuvre des politiques et du programme d'infrastructure et de transport de la CEDEAO. 7. Activités de sensibilisation menées par les députés. Ainsi, le rapport s'inscrit dans le respect total des engagements pris par le Liberia. 1. État de mise en œuvre.
ratification of community protocols, texts, and conventions. The 32 ECOWAS protocols and conventions ratified by the Liberian government in 2016-2017 is gradually being implemented and operationalized, even though there are some glaring challenges that besets its transition and full implementation, especially the ETLS, VAT, CET, single currency, and biometric ID card, amongst others. Implementation of community program and community levies. Liberia, for the period under review, through the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection, received additional funding and support from the ECOWAS Department of Youth and Sports and Department of Gender, Social, Humanitarian Affairs Center. Funding was also received from the Regional Agency for Agriculture and Food of ECOWAS, RAF, for the effective implementation of the following community programs. ECOWAS Innovative Food, Nutrition, Security, and Agriculture Development Project, Gender and Migration Awareness Campaign, ECOWAS Volunteer Program, the Girls Boys of Excellence Scholarship, Fistula Support, 50 Women Project, ECOWAS Innovative Food, Nutrition, Food Security, and Agriculture Development Project. The program is undertaken by RAF to achieve ECOWAS priority objectives for the improvement of food security and agriculture development in West Africa through the adoption of ECOWAS agriculture policy. The first layer of the project in Liberia focuses on training, educating, and empowering farmers in various communities in food production. The second layer focuses on identifying potential markets for the products, which are the schools in the various communities. The products are purchased from the farmers and used exclusively for a program referred to as school feeding. The program has impacted the increase in food production by community dwellers, increased enrollment in the schools, and provided economic empowerment for farmers. The project, with partnership funding from Spain, is implemented by ZOA, a German NGO in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and Agriculture in various communities. ECOWAS Volunteer Program. 20 volunteers under the age of 35 years old from the sub-region, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Benin, arrived in the country about 9 months ago. The volunteer is signed with the Ministry of Health, Education, Gender, Children, and Social Protection, Youth and Sports, and Agriculture, providing expertise in the areas of medical technology, teaching, physics, chemistry, etc. Technical vocational education development, TVET, asset management, geological and social management, etc. The ECOWAS Girls and Boys of Excellence, providing scholarship for needed and disadvantaged but brilliant girls and boys from slum communities in specialized technical and professional education in Liberia. The program currently has about 60 beneficiaries attending various technical institutions. The ECOWAS Fistula Program. Fund support women and girls suffering from fistula, women's sickness in Liberia. The fund support focuses on provision of surgery, social mobilization, and economic empowerment interventions. The Fistula Fund is distributed between the Ministry of Health through the Phoebe Hospital and the Women of Africa through the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital. Currently, approximately 269 women have benefited from surgical intervention, including 6 medical and surgical missions into Liberia. Prevention, timely access to emergency service skills, health personnel are key to fistulas. Additionally, there are 17,654 consultations along with 4,206 births under review. 50 Women Program. Funds support as part of the sensitization campaign on women, peace and security component of ECOWAS conflict prevention framework. The ECOWAS radio program, ECOWAS and You. The ECOWAS radio series, ECOWAS and You, continues to be aired since the turning over of the on-mail radio station to the ECOWAS radio. The National Office, in collaboration with the ECOWAS Special Representative of the ECOWAS Special Representative and the ECOWAS Liberian parliamentarians, are deeply committed in its viability. Other ECOWAS institutions are beginning to invite staff of the radio station to report on their activities. The Liberian delegation wishes to register its dissatisfaction that the ECOWAS Parliament has ignored requests from the Special Representative of the President of the ECOWAS Commission to have the ECOWAS radio station cover the ECOWAS activities at this Parliament. The National Center for Coordinating of Response Mechanism, Early Warning. A 5-year program between the United States government, represented by ECOWAS, and the Republic of Liberia to provide critical alert information and coordinate government response for immediate interventions. The program is, however, having some financial hiccups due to the fact that the United States government and ECOWAS Commission have not totally honored the MOU signed for the support of the center. Consistent payment for salaries and other obligations are yet to be fulfilled. Community levy protocols. Liberia is currently in compliance with the community levy payment and has honored its obligation by paying its ETL on a month-to-month basis since January 2019 to present. However, on behalf of the Ministry of Finance, in consultation with the ECOWAS Commission, strong commitments from the government of Liberia have been made to clear off its arrears, estimated around 4.9 million before the third quarter of 2019. The Commission and the government of Liberia are working on an MOU that stipulates a payment plan timeline. Political situation. Early warning alerts. June 7, 2019 planned demonstration. Recent political events unfolding in the country have the propensity to further shatter Liberia's already fragile peace if steps are not taken to arrest the situation. Case in point is a planned demonstration slated for June 7, 2019 by a group named and styled Council of Patriots under the theme Save the State, and some members of the opposition bloc, particularly the 4 major opposition political parties, named and styled Collaborating Political Parties, CPP. The 4 leading opposition parties have endorsed the protest. However, the President has called for a dialogue and has invited the leaders of the Council of Patriots to a meeting on tomorrow, 14th May, which is National Unification Day and is observed as a national holiday in Liberia. As a result of the planned demonstration, word of wars has erupted in Liberia. The United States government has expressed dismay over comments from various sides of Liberia's political divide, making specific reference to the divisive Congo native politics. 2 members of the legislature and the Deputy Information Minister were named in the United States government statement. His Excellency, the President of Liberia, President George Manuel Weah, has suspended the Deputy Information Minister while the legislature is yet to take action on the 2 members of the legislature. Investigation in the missing 16 billion Liberian dollars and the 25 million mop-up and intervention by government. Following the allegation of the missing of billions of Liberian dollars, the government, through the Ministry of Justice, set up a presidential investigative team with a mandate to further ascertain the facts of said missing money. Notwithstanding, the government asserted that all monies printed and brought into the country and deposited into the coffers of the Central Bank of Liberia since 2014, 2015, up to 2018, can be accounted for by the Central Bank. Also, the government, through the U.S. Embassy accredited near Monrovia, sought the U.S. government assistance through the FBI and Internal Revenue Services to further assist in the probe. In related development, the U.S. government, in response to Liberian government request to assist in the alleged missing billion investigation, hired Crowe, a U.S.-based financial services consulting firm, to aid in the investigation. Both the PIT and Crowe reports were released in the latter part of February 2019, respectively. Findings from both reports underscored that the Central Bank of Liberia did not provide proper accounting for the excess of $3 billion Liberian dollars. As such, on those conclusions, the former Central Bank Governor, Mr. Milton Weeks, and his deputy, Mr. Charles Saliv, son of former President Ellen Johnson Saliv, along with the Director of Banking Operations and former Director of Banking Services, were arrested, charged, and sent to court. However, 4 of the accused were granted bails as the council filed property bonds on their behalf, while 1 of the accused were granted bail for health reasons. On the issue of the $25 million authorized by the President of Liberia to mop up excess liquidity of Liberian dollars from the Liberian market, the report was not conclusive, but recommended that fluorescent audit be conducted to establish clear procedures used to mop up the excess liquidity, as there were not full disclosure or documentary evidence to show traces of Forex Bureau to which monies were given, with the exception of Total and 2 other money exchangers which were named in the report. Hence, the President has since implemented the recommendation contained in the report by commissioning the General Auditing Commission, GAC, to conduct a fluorescent audit of the mop-up exercises, and promise that anyone who will be linked to any misapplication of the $25 million, be it a member of his government or not, will face the full weight of the law. Impeachment of Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. On another note, the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate recently impeached Justice Kabina Janet, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, having been charged for 4 offenses ranging from theft of property, misuse of office, economic sabotage, etc. Of those offenses, the justice was exonerated on the theft of property and misuse of office, but was convicted on economic sabotage. The trial lasted for 16 days, in which the justice was represented by a team of legal experts, including himself, while the House of Representatives who brought the charges against him was represented by a team of lawyers. At the end of the trial, 22 senators voted to impeach the Associate Justice on economic sabotage, while on the other counts, he was exonerated based on lack of evidence. Meanwhile, 4 senators voted in favor of justice, whilst 3 abstained. Holding of by-election. 2 additional vacancies have been created in both the House of Senate and the House of Representatives, respectively, following the death of Senator Geraldine Doe Sharif of United Party, Senator Monserrato County, and that of Representative Adolph Ikwe Lawrence, CDC representative of District Number 15, Monserrato County. Both have since been buried. May the souls and the souls of all faithful departed rest in peace. Notwithstanding, the by-election schedule as a result of the death of these honorables is scheduled for July 2nd within the framework of the Constitution. Security and the refugee situation in the region. Besides minor instances of security breaches involving criminal activities, the country faces no imminent threat or danger. The national security apparatus continue to demonstrate gallantry over the state of affairs in providing security for its citizens and foreigners as well. Also, besides sporadic reports of illegal encroachment by illicit farmers, hunters, and miners from Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire, no serious incident of influx of refugees has been reported during this reporting period, which is a clear evidence that the Mano River Basin is intact. Additionally, the only refugee situation that is currently looming in Liberia relates to those Sierra Leoneans who came to the country during the early days of the Liberian Civil War in 1991. A spokesman for the group in a recent radio interview alleged that the Liberian Immigration Services have shown insensitivity to the plight of Sierra Leone refugees, who, despite being cleared by the UNHCR to go to a third country, they are denied by the Liberian Immigration Services. Also, he alluded that despite pronouncement by the past government that Sierra Leone refugees be granted citizenship status, little has been done to regularize the status, while they continue to be harassed by Liberian security personnel. State of the implementation of ECOWAS macroeconomic development. The macroeconomic policy continues to focus on priority areas such as educational and health care programs, agriculture, energy, and infrastructure projects that are in line with existing national policy priorities. The administration has developed a new national strategic plan, Pro-Poor Agenda for Prosperity and Development, in support of the successor plan for the Agenda for Transformation, in order to stimulate and stabilize the economy in ways that will complement the country's development agenda through diversification of the economy, strengthening resilience by reducing vulnerability and consolidating public finance to enhance service delivery. Review of macroeconomic performance. Real GDP growth projected for 2018 fell by 1.3% to 1.2%, or 919.3 million from estimated 2.5%, or 904.1 million in 2017. The major driver of the country's GDP growth is expected to be the mining sector through increased industrial gold production. Our GDP growth in 2019 is projected to be 0.4% from revised 1.2% in 2018. The diminishing level of growth in 2019 is expected to be driven by mining and agriculture sector. All other sectors are projected to contribute negative growth. Average headlines inflation for 2018 broadly increased in an estimated 23.4%, up from 12.4% in 2017, while the end period inflation was projected at 28.5% in 2018, up from 13.9% in 2017. The Central Bank of Liberia monetary policy remains a maintenance of price stability and exchange rate stability aimed at ensuring a stable macroeconomic environment supportive of sustained economic growth. Also, reduction in foreign direct investment is key area. Also, reduction in foreign direct investment in key areas may lead to a drawdown in production activities in the coming year. In addition, government policy, especially tax policy on administered prices, may influence the production and consumption of real economy. Liberia missed out on one of the four performance of the primary criteria convergence scale, representing a performance scale of 75.0%. The country satisfied gross external reserve and central bank financing criteria and budget deficit, but slipped on inflation criteria. On the second convergence scale, the country met one criterion, public debt GDP ratio, as in the previous period, and slipped on the national exchange rate stability. See the charts below. Policy harmonization and institutional framework. Roads. The road network in Liberia is greatly underdeveloped. The country has a total length of 11,812 kilometers, of which 1,063 were paved roads, while 10,749 kilometers remain unpaved. On infrastructure, Liberia has made significant progress as it has secured funding for the pavement of the Loguato to Danande Trans-Regional Highway linking Cote d'Ivoire and Liberia, with a modern border post expected to be constructed along the route, with the aim to facilitate trade and commerce. Also, the Harper Fishtown Highway, as well as the Kavala River Danande Trans-Regional Highway, are nearing completion, with funding also for the construction of the Ganta-Fishtown Highway has been sourced. The government of Liberia recently received an initial amount of $50 million of a total of $100 million from the ECOWAS Investment and Development Bank, EBIT, for the construction and pavement of the coastal highway in the southeast. Air transportation. The country has two airports, one international, the Rabat International Airport, and the other domestic, the James Springfield Airport. Also, a new terminal building, presidential lounge, and a runway rehabilitation of the Rabat International Airport are still under construction. Marine transportation. Marine transportation system remains a challenge in Liberia. However, during the year under review, the government of Liberia, under the management of the Liberia International Ship and Corporate Registry, LISCA, opened a 17.3 acres facility which includes a newly constructed workshop. Currently, there are 4,200 registered vessels bearing the Liberian flag, which is about 12% of the world's ocean-going fleet. Telecommunication. There are 3 mobile phone companies operating in Liberia, comprising Lone Star MTN, Orange Liberia, which are GSM company, and Letelco, which is a fiber optic and service provider. Electricity. Liberia power produced during the review period of 2018 from the Mount Coffee Hydro and heavy fuel HFO generators and high-speed diesel generators declined to 200.98 millokilowatts, down from 315.6 millokilowatts produced during the same period a year ago in 2018. That 36.3% drop in electric power generation was a result of increase in the damaged transformers in the Monrovia areas. It is expected that the maximum demand for energy before the end of 2019 is expected to be 74 megawatts, and by 2020 it will increase to 106 megawatts when over 60,000 additional customers will be connected to the network. This will significantly impact the local economy by reducing the cost of electricity to businesses. Please see the tables below. Sensitization activities carried out by parliamentarians. The ECOWAS Parliament, in conformity with the activities of the programs for 2019, which aim to strengthen regional integration, has not undertaken any delocalized sensitization meeting in Liberia for the first quarter of 2019. Conclusion. Liberia is committed to the achievement of the ECOWAS Vision 2020, which focuses primarily on the ECOWAS of people. In spite of being a new government, the current president of Liberia, who is also a former member of this parliament, is aware of the numerous challenges facing the regional body, which range from administrative, finance, economic, to social, as well as culture. However, with the level of outstanding leadership demonstrated by ECOWAS, Liberia remains supportive to all regional initiatives. As part of the decision reached by the plenary in Dakar, Senegal, and reaffirmed in Abuja during this, our first ordinary session, the President, national leadership, as well as the entire citizenry of Liberia, looks forward to receiving the Speaker, members, the Secretary General, directors, as well as staff of the ECOWAS Parliament in Liberia for our next ordinary session in September of this year. The President has given the necessary directive to ensure that the session is successful. Jaradev, thank you, merci, obrigado.